Hi, this is Betsy Brander-Smith from Police One. I'm here with Morty Chikansky, and he is a retired NYPD detective, first grade, but he's also an author of Terrorist Cop. And we're going to talk about how you came to write that book and some of the extraordinary things that happened in your life that led to you being an author. Thanks for being with us.
My pleasure, Betsy. My first 20 years in the NYPD were traditional 20 years. I rose to homicide detective, doing general crime and homicides. Hundreds, if not thousands, of cops have experienced all that. 9/10, 2001, regular homicide detective. We had 20 homicides in my area, Manhattan South. The next day, life came upside down. I was off that day. I got down to ground zero about 2 hours after the event, and words can't describe it. I could describe everything up to 9/10, 2001, but 9/11 I can't. It was just so big, and the lack of human beings, of body parts, just made no sense. The destruction, and where is everybody? So I felt a change. I felt a change in myself. I couldn't register. Well, post 9/11, I was fortunate enough to be asked to go to Israel, to be the NYPD representative there, to actually work with the Israeli police. And part of my assignment there was to analyze suicide bombings. Mm-hmm. During the course of that time, I analyzed 21 suicide bombings within the first hour. Now, these were scenes that were as horrific as could be imagined, because there were the body parts. There were body parts everywhere. Mm-hmm. And again, this wasn't like a traditional murder scene. After time, it got to me. And again, prior to that, there were hundreds of bodies that I dealt with working in New York City. I mean, it was a crazy place, especially in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah. Crack cocaine, you know, it was OK Corral. Yeah. But this was different. So as a result, I saw a change in myself. Prior to 9/11, I left work when I left work. It was on my mind if I had a case, but it didn't overwhelm me.
Were you able to think more analytically pre-9/11/01 when you would think about your cases?
It was more case responsibility. Okay. You know, in other words, I had an open case. Mm-hmm. If I didn't catch the murder, if I didn't catch the robber, mm-hmm. I had to take care of it. I had to do my job, but I left it at the office. Mm-hmm. And life was great. But post 9/11 was the center of it, and then going to Israel actually even increased it that much more. And 9/11, I'm still having a hard time, and so are so many first responders from that event. Yeah. But I got fortunate that I got the ability to write a book about it, to share my experiences, hopefully benefit other first responders and the general public to look out for it, both PTSD and the aspect of terrorism, because you have to, today's day and age, every cop has to think both traditional crime and terror. Because that one terror event will knock out 20 years that you did prior when you see the destruction it could do.
How did writing the book help you to deal with your own PTSD?
I feel like the time that I spent doing what I did, it was worth the hit that I took. Because I'm a different person today. And it's only really been 5 years. You know, it's not even like a midlife crisis. I am a completely different. Terror is the center of my life. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as much as I loved being a cop for the first 20 years, there were times, you know, when I was, other things when I was off duty. Mm-hmm. But this has been overwhelming. And I actually tell the story how I can't be near a bus these days and not think that it's going to blow up in front of me. And it's not a question of fear, because the fear aspect is gone. Right. Because if you are afraid, they win. Right. So you cannot have any fear whatsoever. It has to be something you're challenged and you take care of it. But the aspect of the element of surprise and the possibilities has to be in your mind. So I could be in New York, I could be in Tel Aviv, I could be in Chicago. If I see a bus, I say, wow, this is a great target. Because I've went to that many suicide bus bombings.
Right. Well, I tell you, you've had some extraordinary experiences, and we thank you so much for sharing them with us. I can't wait to read the book.
Thank you.
Terrorist Cop.
Thank you.